Losing weight from any part of your body can be hard, as many of us know all too well. But the good news is, shedding belly fat can be a tiny bit easier than slimming down your hips, thighs, or other parts of your body. Belly fat is unfortunately the most dangerous location to store fat. Because belly fat, also known as visceral fat, or the deep abdominal fat that surrounds your organs, is more temporary, it's more active in terms of circulating in the bloodstream. That means it's likely to raise the amount of fat in your blood, known as blood lipid levels, and increase your blood sugar levels, which as a result raises your risk of heart disease and type 2 diabetes. And unfortunately, you can target fat loss on specific parts of your body, including your belly. It's essentially impossible to tell one specific region of your body to accelerate fat metabolism. So if you want to lose that extra layer of tummy, it's going to require more than going full speed ahead with the crunches. It's got to be more losing fat as a whole. Best 12 ways to lose stubborn belly fat permanently. 1. Eat more fiber. Foods that are high in refined carbs and sugar don't actually tame your hunger, so you end up reaching for more. Instead, load up on foods high in fiber like whole grain breads, oats, vegetables, fruits, beans, legumes, and chia seeds. They fill you up more, since fiber helps slow your digestion. As a result, you'll be less likely to compensate with less healthful dishes that lead to weight gain, especially in your middle. A 2015 study from the Annals of Internal Medicine showed that for those who have a hard time following a strict diet, simplifying the weight loss approach by just increasing fiber intake can still lead to weight loss. You should aim for at least 25 grams of fiber per day, based on a 2,000-calorie diet, according to the most recent U.S. dietary guidelines. 2. Daily walking. If you don't have an established exercise routine, simply walking is the best first step toward weight loss. Walking is a pretty good entry point for people. This is particularly true if you have been out of the gym for a while and want to ease back into a workout routine. One small study published in the Journal of Exercise Nutrition and Biochemistry found that obese women who did a walking program for 50 to 70 minutes 3 days per week for 12 weeks significantly slashed their visceral fat compared to a sedentary control group. An easy way to approach it: commit to going for a quick 10-minute walk after dinner, and slowly increase the time as you become more comfortable with daily movement. 3. Start strength training, also known as weightlifting. It's important to do full body strength training if you want to lose belly fat. That's because strength training helps you build muscle, which will replace body fat. In fact, strength training is one of the few activities you can do to spike the amount of calories you burn. When your metabolic rate becomes faster due to muscle growth by doing strength training or weightlifting, you'll have a little more wiggle room in your diet. To get started, plan to lift weights 2 or 3 days per week. 4. Eat enough protein, especially before exercise. There's a reason everyone harps on about protein. Not only does it help keep you full, but it's also responsible for repairing the tiny tears caused by strength training in your muscles. This helps them grow bigger and stronger, nudging out body fat in the process. As a general rule of thumb, aim to get at least 70 grams of protein throughout the day. This is especially important before you exercise. We're all guilty of going hard at the gym, and after then we have a heavy meal because we're super hungry. The result? You eat more calories than you burn and end up with excess belly fat. To prevent yourself from feeling hungry after workout, eat a snack with at least 12 grams of protein before your workout to help curb any hunger. And if you're still hungry after your workout, first, check in with yourself and make sure it's actual hunger. Then, eat a protein-rich snack that also includes some carbs, like a protein bar with whole grains. Your body will need some carbohydrates, especially after a long aerobic workout. 5. Target your belly with abs exercises. Although you can't spot reduce fat, you can target building lean muscle tissue, which in turn helps burn fat. There are literally dozens of muscles between your shoulders and your hips that are involved in every movement you do. The fastest way to create a lean midsection begins with choosing the right moves. To start off, aim to do ab work 3 or 4 times a week on non-consecutive days with at least 24 hours of rest in between sessions. During those sessions, you can start with simpler moves like crunches, bicycle crunches, and planks. The best part is that you don't need a fancy gym memberships, since there are tons of different ab workouts you can do right in your home. Once you're comfortable in an ab routine, work your way up to more complex ab exercises, like side-to-side med ball slams and weighted Russian twists. 6. Say goodbye to stress. Stress can mess with every part of your body, but how you deal with it can make or break your weight loss goals. It makes us eat more, because we use food as a substitute for dealing with stress. The truth is, eating food to make yourself feel better is usually a whole lot easier than actually facing the stress head-on. Stress eating can only lead to one thing, growing your belly rather. If you find yourself stress eating, take a step back and think, what's causing your stress, and what can you do about it? Find a way to remedy the solution or talk through it with a therapist. 7. Make sleep a priority. Sleep is huge when it comes to your weight loss success, and that's both if you sleep too much or too little. Sleeping too much is probably not great for your health-wise, but sleeping too little is worse. One 2017 review and meta-analysis from the UK found that people who slept 5.5 hours or less per night ate an extra 385 calories the day after compared to those who snooze for at least 7 to 12 hours. On top of that, they prefer to munch on fatty foods full of empty calories, like chips. If you're only getting a minimal amount of sleep each night, that leaves more time for you to snack and make otherwise unhealthy decisions that could affect your weight loss. Although it will vary from person to person on how much sleep you actually need to be most effective, and therefore make progress toward your weight loss goals, the ideal number is typically 7 or 8 hours. 8. Skip the booze. To lose weight, you simply have to consume fewer calories, but that can be tough when feelings of hunger start creeping in. One good plan of attack: ditch the empty calories that don't serve your goals so you can make more room for the foods that do. This includes all sugary drinks, like soda, Coke, energy drink, but booze is a big one. Research finds that drinking frequently, even if it's a moderate amount, can set you up for excess fat. 9. Cook your own meals. Spending more time in the kitchen can help you shed belly fat, as long as you're cooking with the right foods, according to one 2017 study. After analyzing data from more than 11,000 men and women, UK researchers found that people who ate more than 5 homemade meals per week were 28% less likely to have a high body mass index, and 24% less likely to carry too much body fat than those who only down 3 meals at home. The researchers explained that people who cook their own meals may simply have other good-for-you habits, like exercising more. However, they also concluded that home cooks ate more fruits and vegetables, along with a wider variety of foods, have healthier methods of prepping their food, and splurge less on foods high in calories and sugar. 10. Try a low-carb diet. There's a reason low-carb diets have made a huge comeback. They work for many people. The scientific studies that are controlled clinical trials tend to show that the low-carb dieting is better than the low-fat dieting for the average person for initially losing weight. That's because it theoretically causes a mild ketosis, a keto diet, which is a fat-burning state that should make you feel less hungry. The key in being successful with a low-carb diet, especially if you're used to a more high-carb lifestyle, is to compensate for those lost carbs with protein-rich foods. That way, your volume of food stays the same, but you're doing it healthfully rather than in a way that exacerbates your weight gain. Low-carb diet helps decrease your overall calorie intake since you're replacing unsatisfying calories with more filling ones. Although there's no standard definition for what low-carb really means, you'll typically aim for less than 60 grams of carbs per day. 11. Do the math and track your calories. The most basic approach to weight loss is burning more calories than you consume. For instance, since 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat, you can use apps, or even just pen and paper, to figure out how many calories you need to either cut from your diet or burn at the gym in order to meet your goals. If you were to burn 500 more calories per day 7 days a week, that would lead to 3,500 calories in a week and 1 pound of weight loss. To make it simple, if you eat a whole sandwich, then you're going to make the decision to eat half a sandwich at lunch and save the other half for your dinner and essentially cut your calories in half. 12. Raise your awareness. A big part of weight loss is simply being aware of the decisions you're making as to what you're putting in your body and the activities you're taking part in. For example, you might not realize just how much you eat when you go out to happy hour with friends. But if you take the split second to take a step back and make yourself aware of that fact, you're more able to make a healthy decision. Just keep in mind that in order to see real results with slimming your belly, it really comes down to 3 things: nutrition, exercise, and dedication. Dropping body fat and developing a lean toned stomach is a threefold approach that requires consistency and discipline. Thank you for watching this video.